That's continuing that upward trend that we've seen sharply now climbing since the end of October. The state has seen more than 112,000 cases now since the pandemic began at the end of February. This is what's happening in Clark County. We remain flagged of the elevated transmission list right now. The elevated transmission disease list is what it's called. We're on that now for the 4th week. We're reporting 869 new cases in today's case update. However, just 5 deaths, one too many though, totaling 90,000 cases in Clark County. The recovery rate is at 88.2% right now. Hospitalizations from coronavirus are close to record highs here in the U.S. Cases on the rise in Nevada and 45 other states, and experts warn the worst is yet to come. More than 1 million Americans now testing positive for coronavirus over the last 10 days, making this the worst stretch of infections so far. Nearly half of those cases are in the Midwest. But we have some good news to tell you on treatment. The FDA has given emergency approval to Eli Lilly for the first antibody treatment for COVID patients who have mild to moderate symptoms.
It works by attaching the virus and blocking its entry into cells, and also possibly by helping the person's immune system clear the virus. The data we have suggests that early treatment may help people avoid disease progression and avoid hospitalization.
Right now, safety testing for this new antibody drug is ongoing, and the government will start distributing 300,000 doses of this tomorrow.
Well, today is the last day that the Clark County is going to be accepting mail-in votes as long as they're postmarked by November 3rd. Now, they only received 7 more ballots today, so it's really just slowly trickling in. The county has until the end of Thursday to count all of the votes. Clark County Election Chief Joe Gloria says that means people who need to verify their signatures, which is called a signature cure, will have to do that by 5 o'clock on Thursday as well.
It'll be very late at night when we're done. Because the deadline is at 5 o'clock. Right. And so there'll be a mad rush to make sure that anybody that has cured by 5 o'clock, we've got to go pull those ballots. We've got to make sure that they get sent to the counting board.
Gloria also said there's a lot of misinformation going out to the general public right now, and they should be very careful about anything that does not come from the Secretary of State's office. Meantime, here we are now a week after Election Day, and the results are still being counted in some of the most watched local races. So let's take a look at those now. One of those includes this very hotly contested race. This is for Senate seat District 6 between Democratic Senator Majority Leader Nicole Cannizzaro now leading Republican challenger April Becker. Also in Senate District 5, that race remaining very tight. Democrat Christy Watson increasing her lead now over Republican Carrie Ann Buck. And the Clark County Commission, this one's gone back and forth, but Democrat Ross Miller now maintaining his slight lead over current Las Vegas City Council member Stavros Anthony. And also very close is a ballot question 1. Now you might recall this one would remove the Board of Regents from the Nevada Constitution. At this point, 50-50%. This one is really just too close to call.
Very tight there. Well, President-elect Joe Biden continues to lay out plans for his upcoming administration, despite ongoing challenges from President Trump and his supporters over the election results. Natalie Brand reports now from Wilmington, Delaware.
President-elect Joe Biden discussed the Affordable Care Act after the U.S. Supreme Court heard arguments on the constitutionality of the landmark health care law.
Come January, we're going to work quickly with the Congress to dramatically ramp up health care protections.
Is it time to concede? On Capitol Hill, Vice President Mike Pence attended a closed meeting with Senate Republicans where lawmakers expressed support for President Trump's challenges to the election results.
Until the Electoral College votes, anyone who's running for office can exhaust concerns.
The president continues to make unsubstantiated claims of voter fraud and ballot counting abuse. Meanwhile, lawmakers are reacting to a memo issued by Attorney General Bill Barr this week telling prosecutors they can pursue substantial allegations of voting irregularities before the election is certified.
I thought it was perfectly appropriate.
What he did yesterday is unprecedented and unforgivable.
Here in Delaware, President-elect Biden says the transition continues and they have enough resources even if the General Services Administration continues to block the process.
Have you tried to reach out at all to the president? And if he is watching right now, what would you say to him?
Mr. President, I look forward to speaking with you.
There will be a smooth transition to a second Trump administration.
Secretary Pompeo says the world should have every confidence that the State Department is functional and successful with the president who's in office on January 20th. Senior administration officials tell CBS News there are still no plans to consider inviting Biden to the White House until after all legal options are exhausted. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Wilmington, Delaware.
And today, President-elect Biden spoke by phone with leaders of the United Kingdom, Ireland, France, and Germany. We want to remind you to stay with 8 News Now, your local election headquarters. You're going to find the latest updates both on air and online. Of course, also 8newsnow.com. Denise?
Other news here at 4 o'clock. A mother accused of killing her 2 young children appeared in court this morning. Clark County prosecutors say that 26-year-old Amanda Sharp Jefferson drowned her victims, then denied even knowing them, that she was even their mother. Bianca Holman is following the case.
Amanda Sharp Jefferson is facing 2 counts of murder in the death of her 1-year-old Rose Singleton and her 2-month-old Lily Singleton. According to an arrest report, Jefferson told the children's father she drowned them. Both girls were discovered by their father, Jaquan Singleton. Singleton told police she was acting strange a few weeks earlier, but seemed fine when he saw her the evening prior. Police say Sharp Jefferson denied having any children and said someone must have put them in her apartment. At first, Sharp Jefferson was not in the courtroom. Her lawyer claimed that there was concerns about the reaction to the allegations. She eventually appeared and said she understood the charges and also understood the next date for her scheduled preliminary hearing.
I do not find that the concerns expressed, at least at this juncture, would outweigh the public's right to at least view electronically the arraignment.
Sharp Jefferson's lawyer also filed 2 motions. The first is to preserve evidence, the second regarding bail. Sharp Jefferson will return to court on November 24th. Reporting from the Regional Justice Center, Bianca Holman, 8 News Now.
And the search continues for a suspect in a shooting last month. Now Metro Police need your help. They say this happened back on the 30th of October at an apartment complex near Las Vegas Boulevard in Nellis. Investigators say the victim was sitting in a car when apparently this man shot him. The victim, though, is expected to survive. But police also want to talk to these 3 women you're seeing here in these images who were seen with the suspect just before the shooting. If you have any information, please call Crime Stoppers.
Right, it is 4:07 on this Tuesday afternoon. We're talking cold temperatures this morning. Ted, I gotta tell you that today was the first day I put on those seat warmers in the car.
I did too, right?
It feels really nice, especially when you're driving.
They were saying, yeah, you gotta use them out here. Well, yeah, we are.
You gotta use them.
You gotta use them because it gets chilly out here. Yeah, some of the coldest temperatures this season, David. In fact, last time we saw temperatures down in the low 40s was actually last month. However, we beat that this morning at 38 degrees this morning. Last time we saw that temperature was February 3rd. That's how long it's been. Both the conditions have been the same, clear skies that allow the temperatures to drop even more to those low 30s. When you have calm winds, light winds, that allows temperatures to drop rapidly. Temps right now in the mid-50s, 54 for Henderson, Las Vegas, 56, along with North Las Vegas. However, this is where we should be at this time of the year, 70 even. And of course, we are way below that. Probably not going to see that number until we start to get to the weekend. Satellite radar, clear skies here. Some snow showers up in Salt Lake, up in the Wasatch and the Bitterroots, but we remain dry, at least for now. Do we have another shot of showers? It's possible. We'll show it to you coming up in your most accurate forecast straight ahead. David,
looking forward to that. Ted, thank you. Well, there's a new and improved playground in the southeast part of the valley to tell you about. This afternoon, the Department of Parks and Recreation hosting a grand opening ceremony for the new area at Sunset Park. That's right at Eastern in Sunset. Let's take a live look at those festivities right now. Great time to get out and enjoy. They tell us the biggest changes include adding a new steel shade structure. The playground equipment was replaced to update its features to today's safety standards.
Great to see all the kiddos out there on a Tuesday afternoon. Well, the Henderson Silver Knights have a home to call their very own. Sports Director Chris Matthews joining us now with today's grand opening of Lifeguard Arena. Chris.
Well, thank you, Denise. Speaking of kiddos, there'll be a lot of kiddos inside this thing right here. Yeah, first you had the City National. Now you have 2 sheets of ice now in the south end of the valley, 2 more in Henderson. One of the goals of Knights owner Bill Foley was when he bought this club, let's bring youth hockey to the valley. That's what he's certainly doing, making good on those promises that he made, of course, and he's making good on his word to build winners. And how about this? The kids will really enjoy this. They'll learn hockey, they'll continue to skate and enjoy the sport of hockey. That's what he's doing. Today was a grand opening in the Lifeguard Arena. It's similar in every way to City National out there in Summerlin. In fact, truth be told, the Henderson facility might be a little nicer now. Hey, they learned how to make it better, right? And the Knights have accomplished that goal with the grand opening today.
Obviously, for the guys, it's good for the travel aspect that you mentioned, and for the organization to keep a closer eye on their young guys and how they're doing, how they're progressing, how they're developing, that sort of stuff. And obviously, again, like you said, it's nice for those guys who do go back and forth a little bit, where they can just make a drive up 215, and that's all they have to do. They don't have to fly anywhere. So that's I think a big thing for the guys as well.
All right, the team yesterday revealed the jerseys for the Silver Knights, and now they're available to purchase outside, well, inside the livery, we should say. This will be the home to the Silver Knights. So the Silver Knights will practice at Lifeguard Arena, and for the first 2 years they play at the Orleans Arena. Their season is scheduled to begin in February. David.
Just right around the corner. All right, Chris, thanks. We are just getting started right here on 8 News Now at 4 o'clock. Coming up, a new website that could help your kids with learning at home. It's the new resource being called the Netflix of School. Plus,
Apple unveils a new computer with a brand new brain. I'm Nancy Chen with a look at the latest computers now that Americans are relying on them more than ever.
Prestige, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge.
You're watching 8 News Now, live at 4.
Apple held its third product event in 3 months, and this time the tech giant is revealing a new line of machines as Americans are depending more and more on personal computers than they ever have. Nancy Chen reports.
But there is just one more thing.
Apple CEO Tim Cook's One More Thing is the tech company's latest line of personal computers, all coming with a new brain.
M1.
The M1 chip is made by Apple and replaces the processors from Intel inside previous Macs. The company claims the M1 makes its MacBooks much faster.
MacBook Air is faster than 98% of PC laptops sold in the last year.
In the MacBook Pro, there is the promise of sharper graphics and up to 20 hours of battery life.
And with this combination of performance and awesome battery life, the productivity of our Pro users goes through the roof.
Apple's announcement comes as computer purchases are surging. Mac sales jumped nearly 30% in the last quarter.
You're at a point where every single person in your household basically needs their own computer of some type now.
CNET's Dan Ackerman says with people working and students learning at home, all the tech companies are offering a range of options for the holidays. The Microsoft Surface has a touchscreen. Many laptops double as a tablet, and Lenovo's ThinkPad can even fold. Plus, there are plenty of Google-powered Chromebooks,
which can be very inexpensive, $300, $350. You can get a perfectly good 13 or 15-inch Chromebook. They usually have touchscreens on them, which is great because kids are used to everything having a touchscreen.
The new MacBook Air starts at $999. The MacBook Pro is $1299, and both are available to order right now. Nancy Chen, CBS News, New York.
Adding it to my list, while students all over the country, maybe even in your house, are still struggling with online classes. But one high school senior is hoping to make this school year just a little bit easier.
I remember thinking that, the school systems must have great lists of recommended resources for online learning. And I was wrong. I was binge watching Netflix while doing school, of course. And I did some research on Netflix, and I saw that they personalized their recommendations based on more than 75,000 categories. If we could take that level of personalization and technology to online learning, it could truly transform the world.
That is Sophia Jaffe. This summer, she launched her own website. It's elearn.fyi. It's a collection of more than 300 online resources, everything from coding and museum tours to foreign languages. 14-year-old Liam Dancy recently started using the site to help him with some math, and he says it's made all the difference.
I have a lot more questions. It's hard to understand things like through a computer screen. But with these websites, I can ask the questions at any time I want, really. And I get the answers, and I succeed, and I learn, and I understand things.
The free site has attracted visitors from the United States and more than 100 other countries. All right, as we talked about on the top of the newscast, it was cold today. Ted, are these chilly temps going to stick around, or did I move to the wrong place?
I think when you came from Maine, you brought the cold temperatures. I did come
from Maine, and I thought, it's going to be 70 degrees all year long, but not this morning.
But it was just kind of a welcome party for you, right?
Okay, I'll take it like that.
Next week, David, you're going to love the temperatures next week. All right, let's get to the rain gauge, shall we? Trace of rain this weekend. That was it. That's all we got, all right? So that record streak continues at 204 days, actually, because today we obviously are not going to see any rain. So for the month, a trace of rain, we should be 1/10 of an inch. So we are way behind as far as precip goes. And of course, we all know that's right because we haven't had that measurable rain since April. It has been that long. All right, let's get to our temperatures right now. Sky Canyon at 54 degrees. Same goes for Centennial Hills at Providence, 53 for Aliante, 60 for Sunrise Mountain, with 58 for Whitney Ranch. Henderson coming in right now at double fives. Mountain's Edge at 56, along with Rhodes Ranch and Southern Highlands and Anthem and Seven Hills, currently at 52. Elsewhere, 58 for Prump, 54 Boulder City. Got a lot of viewers in Laughlin, 63 for you, nice and mild, and same goes for Death Valley. Doppler network again, dry conditions. I just don't see any echoes coming back on the radar, at least for the next few days here, but that could change by the time we get to Friday, which we'll talk about in just a bit. Temperature trend, though, however, each day gets warmer. These are your daytime highs now. So, of course, this is where we are. We should be, all right, between 69 to 67 degrees. And notice each day slowly gets warmer. We finally get near average by the time we get to the end of the week on Sunday. And look at next week. The 70s return Monday and Tuesday. So here's your forecast. 38 degrees overnight, mostly clear and cold. Again, light winds. So we'll match the temperature we saw this morning officially. We know how chilly that was. Veterans Day for tomorrow looking good. 59 degrees, but still cool because we should be at 69. So we're still some 10 degrees below normal. Winds stay light. Neighborhood by neighborhood temperatures. Here you go. This time we start off in the northwest part of the valley. Centennial Hills at 57. Along with Sky Canyon. Summerlin at 56. Mountain's Edge, you'll be at 58 degrees, along with North Las Vegas. Sunrise Mountain 62. Green Valley 61. St. Rose Parkway, Seven Hills Anthem 56, Henderson coming in at 57 degrees. Outside of town, we got you covered. Here you go. Pahrump at 54 for tomorrow. Cold up in Lee Canyon, 34 degrees, just above the freezing mark. Mesquite 57. Laughlin coming in mid-60s and Death Valley at 67 degrees. So here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Looking ahead now, we'll see increased cloud cover tomorrow in the afternoon. We'll see those clouds also on Thursday. Notice your numbers go up like we talked about. The overnight lows will improve a little bit, but we're still staying on the chilly side. Breezy by Friday. Some models were hinting at the chance of some showers, but we think that'll stay north of us mainly, and maybe some mountain snow showers, but it's only a slight chance. And then we get through the rest of the week. It's going to be a great weekend. Look at that. Mid to high 60s. Big change from last weekend. We had all that rain and snow, and then back to the 70s just in time for David Charnes to enjoy those 70s to return. Denise, we'll send it back to you.
He is not alone. All right, Ted, thanks. Well, coming up after the break here, all new at 4 o'clock, it's an early Christmas for one family where you can catch this friendly competition between father and son.
And what looks like an incredible toy store is actually also an ice cream shop, and the best place to celebrate National Sunday Day tomorrow. So I'll tell you where we are coming up.
Not a bad apple in the bunch. You're watching 8 News Now, live at 4.
So no matter what time of year it is, ice cream is always the perfect way to treat yourself and your family. Tomorrow is National Sundae Day. It's Wednesday, but hey, we can eat whenever we want. Rocky is live for us at Sloan's Ice Cream, giving us a head start to where to celebrate. Hey, Rocky.
Hey, David. Okay, so because Sloan's is top 10 ice cream shops in the U.S., okay, first and foremost, but also you guys should come celebrate here because it's a toy store too. So, David, I want to let you know I brought you something. This is for you because you are a boss, so I'll bring this to you after the show here. But let's get into the ice cream, okay? Because we'll show you all the rest of the shop in a second. The ice cream here is unique. It's not your basic sundae, right, America?
No, it is. So you're gonna have different type of flavors. We have different type of chocolate, vanillas, and all of that. So the thing is, it's gonna be high premium quality ice cream. That means 16% more butter fat, and it's gonna have 50% less air.
Okay.
So it's a little bit more rich and dense in flavor.
And they also taste homemade, right? That's something really special about you guys.
Handmade flavors.
See?
We do batch by batch. So we will not do like a whole machine to do a lot.
I love that.
So the good thing about this is that you will have unique flavors like carrot cake. It will be like a vanilla cream cheese ice cream, and we blend in the carrot cake in it. Cookie Monster will be next to it. It will be homemade chocolate chip cookies with Oreo. That will be my cookies and cream version.
Amazing.
And then I have like fresh strawberry. I have circus. It will be cotton candy with gummy bears, like apple pie. It's a
oh my gosh,
vanilla ice cream.
Everything that you could imagine. This is what I call, or what you've been called, ice cream utopia, and that couldn't be more accurate. So, since we have a plethora of flavors here, also for your dogs, by the way, homemade treats for your dogs. So, just in case you guys are watching who has dogs at home. Okay, so we have some flavors here. I'm gonna go ahead and choose one to taste.
So over here is carrot cake.
Don't tell me.
Okay.
Oh shoot, that's a carrot cake. I can't do that one. So I'm gonna go with this blue flavor.
Oh my god.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, what is this? Blue ice cream. Cotton candy?
Yes, it is.
This is delicious. I don't actually usually like cotton candy, but that is good. Okay, so on top of just the ice cream, you can get your Sundaes, okay? Because tomorrow is National Sunday Day. Please describe this beautiful creation.
We're gonna have 5 scoops of ice cream of your choice. Okay, so we do provide samples, so you can make that. And then you're gonna have fresh cookie in it. We have M&M cookies or peanut butter cookies. It has 3 wet toppings: hot fudge, hot caramel, wet walnuts in it.
Oh my gosh!
And 2 dry toppings with your whipped cream and your decoration.
Can you believe? So I got to bring this back to the station somehow before it melts. But
so you
got to eat it with the shovel. That's how big it is. Okay. So coming up later in the show, I'm gonna show you what the kitchen sink sundae means. I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared. I'll send it back to you guys.
Going to need a wheelbarrow to take out that kitchen sink ice cream, whatever that's going to look like. All right, we'll see you in the next half hour. So as we gear up for the holidays, the Las Vegas Rescue Mission is hosting a turkey giveaway. This is really for families in need. It's going to be happening this Thursday and Saturday. 2,500 turkeys are going to be given out, but this will be a first-come, first-served basis from 8 to noon. This is a drive-through event, so the turkey bags are going to be placed directly in the trunk at the Las Vegas Rescue Mission. All right, so a father and son in New Mexico are really taking their Christmas displays to a whole new level.
To have the relationship that we have with the Christmas lights makes me really happy, and it makes them really happy.
It's always been a family tradition for Tim and Dallas Seward to put up holiday lights in November, and it's really continued, even as the pair now lives apart by about a 5-minute drive. No surprise, they still get a little bit competitive.
I had mine up, and I thought I was going to. And then he had to go and one-up me and to make all the lights flash. So I think he has me this year.
My son might have beat me putting up the Christmas lights, but I outdid him by getting something different.
Well, you know what? Dad may have won this year, but it's a relationship between father and son that's shining even brighter. And Dallas admits, hey, I helped my dad out with his display. David, what was the movie? Was it the Griswolds, where they went crazy on the Christmas lights?
He shocked the electric grid. Right?
That's what this reminds me
I really
of.
like those Santas that rock back and forth.
Yeah,
you know?
those are cute.
All right, after the break, all new at 4:30. Have you gotten out to eat amid the COVID pandemic? Coming up next, we're taking a closer look at which safety measures to look for when you're picking a place to eat.
The fate of the Affordable Care Act hangs in the balance. I'm Basil Drum reporting in Washington how this Supreme Court case could bring about change to health coverage.
More lawyer, less fee. Now, live. You're watching 8 News Now, live at 4.
Good afternoon. The fate of the Affordable Care Act hangs in the balance. Thanks for joining us here at 4:30. I'm Denise Valdez.
And I'm David Charnes. Kirsten is off. Right now, the Supreme Court is weighing arguments heard earlier today about the Affordable Care Act. You may know it as Obamacare. Washington correspondent Basil John reports on what lawmakers are saying about whether the ACA will stand or not.
After hearing arguments on both sides, the fate of the Affordable Care Act now rests in the hands of the Supreme Court.
The argument this morning in the Supreme Court is one that's deeply troubling to me.
Virginia Senator Tim Kaine says Republicans and President Trump have made it their mission to end the ACA.
And he set his sight on it as sort of like Captain Ahab trying to hunt Moby Dick from the first day of his presidency. Why a party's top priority should be taking health insurance away from so many with no plans to replace it is beyond me.
Pennsylvania Congressman Fred Keller says there is a reason to go after the ACA.
What we need to do with healthcare in the United States is we need to create competition, we need to have transparency, and allow people to have choice.
Keller says whether or not the ACA is struck down, Congress needs to reevaluate the country's healthcare system.
Let's stop talking about coverage and let's talk about delivery of affordable care. Because all we heard about for so many years is how many people are going to be covered that weren't currently covered.
Kaine said the health crisis brought on by the pandemic showcases just how necessary the ACA is.
Millions and millions have been able to get through this pandemic better because of the ACA. This administration has pursued a one-way path to reducing coverage, and we don't need to keep going down that path.
A decision on the case is not expected until June. Reporting in Washington, I'm Basil John.
We are expecting an update from the governor in about 90 minutes at 6 o'clock. Let's take a look at coronavirus cases here in Nevada. More than 1,300 positive cases. That is new today. The test positivity rate from those cases also increasing. We're about 13% now. Nevada has seen more than 112,000 positive cases since the pandemic began. 7 more deaths reported today. Let's take a look now at Clark County. About 860 new positive cases here. 5 more deaths. And cases are up to more than 90,000 since the pandemic began. Clark County and the Southern Nevada Health District offering free COVID testing this week. The info right there on your screen. The walk-in site will be at the gym at Cheyenne High School Thursday and Friday from 8 in the morning until noon. Now, you don't need to make an appointment, but this is first come, first serve. And if you do go, you have to wear a mask and bring a photo ID.
Well, after months of distance education, the Clark County School District now has a plan to get students back into the classroom. It's a hybrid model combining learning at home and in person. Now, if it passes, employees would return to work as soon as December 1st. It proposes capping classroom size at 50%. Then on January 4th, a mix of in-person and at-home learning would start for students who are in certain grades. Then on January 11th, all other grades would start. Students would be divided into different groups for either hybrid learning or full-time distance education. Now, not everybody, though, is on board with this proposal.
Nothing really beats face-to-face learning and being in the same room as the person you're learning from.
As a kindergarten teacher, I am not comfortable with that just because I know, especially when we're talking about primary, there's no way that they're going to be able to adhere to the social distancing guidelines.
Mask wearing and extra sanitation measures would also be required. The proposal even provides visual aids on how to space out desks to comply with social distancing. No playground equipment, water fountains, or field trips would be allowed. The Board of Trustees is set to review this plan at their meeting this Thursday, and they could vote to approve it or maybe postpone it. We're going to have much more on this for you coming up tonight at 6.
On this week's Travel Tuesday, what should you think about when deciding where to eat out? Wendy Gillette takes a look at safety measures restaurants are taking right now and how you can check out what precautions those restaurants are taking.
Restaurants are adapting to respond to changing coronavirus rules and safety measures. So are customers.
Mainly what I look for is just outdoor seating, making sure the tables are kind of spaced out a little bit.
Larry Lynch is the Senior Vice President of Science and Industry at the National Restaurant Association. The group produced this guide to help restaurants operate safely.
When I'm looking at choosing a restaurant, what should I look for?
What you want to see them doing is first and foremost separating tables and chairs, making sure that there is a distance between you and any other guests. Preferably, there's no waiting area. Look at what they're doing for cleaning and sanitizing. Are they wiping down tables?
Lynn says you should also make sure staff members are wearing face coverings because they'll likely be less than 6 feet away from you and all the other customers.
Because people want more information about how restaurants are adjusting, the online site Yelp has added a COVID-19 section to list health and safety measures on each restaurant's page. The company also recently allowed users to verify what restaurants are doing. Akhil Ramesh is the head of consumer product.
It's clear that consumers have this need to feel safe as they consider going back to businesses.
Lynch says before you head out, head online. Do research and check a restaurant's webpage to see if it lists its COVID-19 safety precautions. If it doesn't, don't be afraid to call.
As a consumer, you certainly have the right, and probably right now a little bit more even the responsibility to ask the question.
As for where to sit, Lynch says outside is always better than inside to lessen potential exposure. And look for a restaurant with good airflow. These days, a nice breeze is much more than just a pleasant pairing with your meal. Wendy Gillette, CBS News, New York.
And the National Restaurant Association recommends restaurants provide hand sanitizer if you go there. So that's something you want to look out for when you go out to eat. Denise?
Well, a preliminary report on a deadly plane crash in Las Vegas confirms the pilot said his engine was indeed out. The crash happened on the 29th, about 4 miles outside of the Henderson Airport. The 2 people on board were killed. The pilot left the North Las Vegas airport. He was headed to San Diego, but crashed while trying to make that emergency landing. Federal crash investigators released this preliminary report, but it could take as long as a year for a final report to eventually be released. And a Buddhist group's lawsuit could throw a wrench into the sale of the Las Vegas monorail to the LVCVA. The tourism agency is in the process of buying the bankrupt monorail for $24 million. But the World Buddhism Association headquarters says the monorail would be selling land that does not belong to them. The group bought the property at Sahara in Paradise to build a temple. They have not started construction, though. The Buddhists filed the objection in the monorail's bankruptcy case. All right, so we're getting it's been unseasonably cooler for us, or at least It just went like that, but now it's going to kind of go back up again, Ted.
Welcome to Las Vegas.
Right.
Welcome to the desert, right? and to pair ourselves with that colder weather, look at downtown Summerlin.
They got their skating rink out.
They're getting the skating rink ready. Look at these fellas right here, just kind of deciding, okay, what do we throw on here? Throw ice on there or what, right? So yeah, this is a great place to skate. I'm glad to see that they're going to be doing this again because, of course, this is a big spot for everybody to go skating during the winter months and, of course, during Christmas. Of course, social distancing, of course. Air quality, we want to watch that because, of course, we've been seeing that smoke seep to our areas these past few months, but not the case now. And the reason for that is we actually had some rain in California. Ozone, carbon, dust, and smoke, look at that in the good category range. No problems as far as air quality goes. Current conditions outside, how about those numbers? 56 degrees at this hour. Winds staying light. That's good, right? Then we head down to Henderson. 54 degrees. Winds also nice and calm there. We're actually right where we were yesterday at this time, right around the mid-50s. It looks like it'll remain that way through this evening, too, in those 40s again. So a nice chilly evening for tonight. We'll add a little bit of cloud cover, and those winds turn calm tomorrow morning, too. We'll have a final look at your forecast coming up in just a few minutes. David, over to you.
All right, looking like winter there, Ted. Thank you. 8 News Now is honoring those who've put their lives on the line for the safety of ours. Of course, tomorrow is Veterans Day. Join us for the Veterans Voices special. That is at 3:30. We'll hear from veterans as well as organizations who help soldiers transition back to civilian life. Again, tomorrow afternoon right here on Channel 8 at 3:30. And as we observe Veterans Day tomorrow around the valley, there will be plenty of deals offered for our veterans and any active military. From retail to restaurants, local businesses are hoping to help you and your families celebrate with some special freebies and discounts. We have a full list of those deals. You see them there on our website, of course, 8newsnow.com.
It's a long list, too. Well, coming up next here on the Valley's News Leader, we are getting ready for the premiere of SWAT right here on Channel 8. We will have an exclusive look at the return of the primetime drama and what you can expect this season.
And we are at Sloan's Ice Cream in the Venetian, where it is a utopia of ice cream and toys. How you can eat an ice cream sundae tomorrow for National Sundae Day, that's big as a kitchen sink. What that means coming up.
Sunny sky.
Electric, not a bad apple in the bunch. You're watching 8 News Now, 5 at 4.
Well, tomorrow is National Sundae Day, and to celebrate, why not have the ice cream sundae of your dreams? Rocky Theus is live at Sloan's in the Venetian to show us where ice cream fantasies become reality. Hey, if they've got a unicorn, then they've got an ice cream fantasy.
Actually, Denise, that's perfect because I'm carrying this cutie pie for you. I figured if I was going to pick anything, it would be the unicorn because you are a unicorn. Okay, there we go. All right, let's talk about ice cream now, okay? You said all of our ice cream fantasies, and I have a feeling that this could suffice, yeah? Why don't we get a little closer? This is called the kitchen sink. America, tell us all about it.
So you're going to have 18 scoops. 4 of our
18 scoops of ice cream? Oh my God.
4 brownies, 4 cookies, and all my toppings are dry toppings, wet toppings. So you're gonna have marshmallow, M&M, chocolate, peanuts. Everything is gonna be in there.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so when people come, for example, tomorrow for National Sundae Day, how do they order this? How do they eat it? Because this is not something you can just walk through the Venetian with or take home.
Yeah. So we're gonna have it ready for you guys. You tell me the flavors. We're gonna make it for you. We obviously you get your spoon.
Right.
The only deal here is that you cannot take this thing home.
Of course. Okay, that makes sense.
You can have it as long as you want. You can experience how long you want it with it. So just make sure you're ready to eat ice cream.
Yeah.
You're ready for all the chocolate, and just dig in.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I wish that I could bring this back to the station because I know some of your mouths are salivating. But let's talk about everything else you guys have here. Obviously, this is the the kitchen sink. We showed you the sandcastle sundae. What other sundaes can they get tomorrow?
So we have a s'more sundaes. We have a luxury sampler. That will be 9 small scoops. So you can, if you don't know what ice cream go with, you can go with that sampler. So that's a good idea here. Our cookie wish. It will be 2 of our baked cookies in it.
How did I make a mess? I'm not even eating. That's a good Sunday when you know you're making a mess, all right?
And then it will be 2 of the baked cookies with ice cream in it. We cut that for you guys. All right, classic Sunday if you want to go a little bit basic.
And
but
okay,
it's so good.
And I don't even know if you can say basic in here, okay? Because this is just not your basic ice cream shop. And I want to tell you guys about this apple pie ice cream, okay, on the menu. You guys, when I bit into this, there was a whole apple in it, okay? So they've actually make the apple pies and then put them in the ice cream yourselves.
So what we do, we have to bake the pie. So we caramelize the apples, we put it in the pie. We bake that for you guys, and then we blend it in on our vanilla and cinnamon.
Incredible. Well, I love it here. Can I stay? And so I brought Denise the unicorn. I brought David the count because he's a boss.
Yeah.
What do I get for Ted?
One more little thing.
Oh, okay. The Farzuka.
Get it.
Happy National Sunday Day tomorrow. Come celebrate. Oh, by the way, veterans eat ice cream free tomorrow.
Yes.
So come on down.